Hello, everybody. Cindy here, back with another video. Since my last SCP video was so popular, I figured I might as well just do another. So, yeah, let's get into today's video.
Viewer discretion is advised. A dwarf 3288 climbed atop 3288 Alpha's shoulder and lifted its red veil, covering only the eyes. 3288 Alpha sniffed the air, then proceeded to lift the cauldron and pour the victims down its anonymously large mouth and gullet. Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber. Today we bring you SCP Foundation Keter Class Object SCP-3288. SCP-3288, also known as the Aristocrats, are highly predatory species or subspecies of the genus Homo. 3288 instances are mutated and deformed to an inhuman degree. They are completely hairless and have chalk-white, light-sensitive skin. Their arms are fully twice as long as a human's and in polydactyl hands, covered in enamel. The substance tends to fracture and shift, causing pain, but allowing the afflicted to remain mobile. SCP-3288 instances hate and fear bright light, which causes them great pain. The mental state of 3288 are unstable, primarily characterized by delusions of grandeur and malignant narcissism. 3288 are usually about human-sized, often slightly shorter due to their pronounced hunchbacks, but some instances can grow much larger than any human. 3288 instances have abnormal muscle strength despite having the appearance of severe emaciation. They also exhibit heterochromia, with each eye a different color. Colors range from blue, red, purple, and yellow. Their most horrific feature is a massive mouth with grotesquely jutting jaws, containing at least 60 huge teeth, approximately 6 times the size of normal adult teeth, packed unevenly into 6 rows. 3288 are also addicted to eating human flesh, primarily targeted the most vulnerable of the population, such as prostitutes, unsupervised children, transients, and inebriated or otherwise indisposed individuals. These detrimental traits have not been only negated, but inversely amplified, resulting in longer lifespans, increased resistance to disease, and anonymously high levels of fertility. SCP-3288 pregnancies have a gestation period of around 2 weeks, and usually produce multiple offspring, which reach physical and sexual maturity in less than 2 years. According to the entries by Leopold I, it seems that the creation of SCP-3288 is the result of the introduction of an anomalous gene into the Habsburg family bloodline. This gene allows human DNA to resist certain deleterious conditions associated with inbreeding. The House of Habsburg continued its practice of inbreeding. Those with significant deformities were hidden from the public. The Habsburg monarchs even created vast vaults to house them, and those who more closely resembled baseline humans remained on the surface. Documents reveal that the lifestyle of those who live in the vault is as luxurious as the one above. The request of food, wine, and entertainment over time become eccentric and strange, and eventually depraved. Among these requests was a substantial supply of human corpses, killed by the Great Plague of 1738, for use as food. Among the entries, there's one document that contains a list of vaults. The There
are 2 things wrong with that request. One, when did they start getting addicted to human flesh? And 2, why would you eat meat from a diseased individual? We don't eat cow, beef, or chicken meat when the farm animal is diseased, because the disease can be transmitted into the person who's eating them.
Foundation has used this information to locate and neutralize SCP-3288 hives, but half of the document was illegible due to mold-related damage. This means that at least half of these vaults will continue to be a significant threat to the public. SCP-3288 were first found out by the Foundation in 1988. They became aware of 3288 while investigating reports of unexplained disappearances in Vienna. It was discovered that these incidents occurred near sewer holes and access tunnels. 2 agents were dispatched to Vienna to determine whether or not those unexplained disappearances were of an anomalous nature. Interviews with law enforcement and government officials revealed that human remains belonging to 3 individuals had been recovered, but that this information was not released to the public due to concerns of causing further panic. These remains were then delivered to Humanoid Containment Site 282 in Graz. Autopsy reports noted that the 3 remains displayed no injuries corresponding with a human attacker. The doctor concluded that all sustained injuries were caused by a mix of teeth, claws, and raw physical strength. Further analysis revealed unique patterns among the bite marks, suggesting that there existed more than one source. In order to track down 3288,
Are these things even human anymore? Seriously, are these things even human, or are these things their own species? Seriously, are these things a different species, or are they still human? Because if these things are still human, then WTF.
Mobile Task Force Sigma-6 was ordered to patrol the Leopoldstadt district, which has the highest number of recorded disappearances. Operatives are instructed to target 3288 with tracking darts and to refrain from lethal force. Their first operation happened on the 10th of June, 1988. 12 MTF Sigma-6 operatives patrolled the Leopoldstadt district in the evening. 2 hours later, operatives 12 and 09 reported hearing a muffled scream near the Donau Canal and sought to investigate the matter while requesting backup. Support arrived 3 minutes after the initial request and found the mangled remains of both operatives, as well as the half-consumed body of a local civilian. Operative 12's head was detached from his body and was never located. His neck had sustained injuries suggesting that it had been severed or destroyed by a single bite. A trail of blood and entrails led to Operative 09, who had been torn in half along the waist. He had successfully crawled into an alleyway before succumbing to his injuries. The mission was deemed
Well, on the bright side of things, at least he did what he could to hide, to keep the public from finding a guy who was torn in half. Gotta give him props for that, even though he still died.
a success despite the loss of life, as Operative 09 had successfully struck the SCP-3288 instance with a tracking dart. The entity had escaped into the sewers, its movements tracked until the signal began to fade before entire.
What? Oh my god, what? Is that what I think it is? Let me look at something real quick. Yep. It's an exact match. Huh. Nice reference. Seriously, dude. Nice reference to those who even care about the Dragon Ball Z franchise. That is not. Give me a moment. That thing up in the top right hand corner of the screen, that isn't that way. That way. Right over there, above to the top right. That's what you call a dragon radar. It's literally the spitting image of a dragon radar. With the grid, the little triangle, and the spitting image of a dragon radar. Nice reference, dude.
Entirely disappearing. A month later, MTF Sigma-6 operatives were sent out again to the last known location of 3288. The Foundation hoped to minimize the possibility of escape and public exposure. Therefore, this time, they can use lethal force, if necessary. After several hours of investigation, Operatives 04 encountered human skeletal remains while wading through waist-deep water. Closer analysis of this area uncovered several loose bricks, which removal revealed an unrecorded subterranean chamber, whose walls were engraved with the House of Habsburg's coat of arms. The chamber included 24 sarcophagi and was presumably a family crypt belonging to the House of Habsburg. Prying open the sarcophagi revealed the skeletal remains of over 300 victims, all displaying severe and likely fatal deformities. At the far end of the crypt,
from what I know about this, I don't think those were victims. I think those were the dead bodies of SCP-288. Because, like you said, they're deformed. So, those deformities were obviously from the SCP instances, because humans don't really have deformities like that.
Crypt was a vault door composed of bronze, with no apparent means of access, and seemingly impenetrable without proper equipment. The door displayed the House of Habsburg coats of arms, and was engraved with the words, "For purity of blood." MTF Sigma-6 operatives were ordered to hold their current location and await the arrival of an infiltration team. Foundation agents organized the temporary evacuation of the city and the sealing of all sewer access points. Finally, after many attempts to open the vault door, the bronze gate was finally carved apart via oxyfuel cutting torches and revealing a spiral staircase. An 8-person squad descended the staircase, with radio transmission growing increasingly faint as the operatives traveled down the stairs. Red ground flares were periodically lit and discarded, providing a clear path of return. Operatives reached the bottom of the stairwell, where the gray stone halls of the crypt were replaced by architectural designs resembling 18th century depictions and reflecting the early Rococo artistic style popular during the era. The location, hereafter known as SCP-32881-A, contained various sculptures and Corinthian columns, while paintings and tattered tapestries adorned its walls. All depictions of the human form had been literally defaced, regardless of artistic medium. Operatives told Control Center that the air smells like rotten meat and stale sweat. The floor and walls were stained with blood. Traveling through the corridor, operatives entered what appeared to be SCP-32881's library. The desk contained documents relating to alchemy, biology, contracts, and private journals. Most of these were in Latin and German. Operatives reached the ballroom and opera hall, describing the air as fetid. The aroma of perfume was also noted. The area contained a number of instruments. There were several refectory tables, probably used as a dining hall as well. Atop the tables were human remains in various levels of decomposition and culinary presentation. A bell abruptly began to toll, and was followed by the automatic music of a nearby pipe organ. The discordant song played for approximately 3 minutes. When the pipe organ ceased its playing, it was followed by the sound of opening doors and shuffling footsteps. Operatives were ordered to hide behind the curtains and deactivate their flashlights. Unfortunately, Operatives 18 fell behind, having tripped over a pile of bones, and forced to take cover behind a harpsichord. Operatives observed the entire ballroom from the far corner of the stage curtain. The ballroom's wide gates opened. SCP-3288 walked in while dressed in the garb of 18th century courtiers. Then a pair of diminutive SCP-3288 entered, lagging behind the others. One blew a rusty trumpet while the other acted as standard bearer, holding a crudely painted ensign depicting a red lion on a black field. The trumpeter and standard bearer quickly moved aside after making an announcement.
Wait,
Their stunted
is that a wig? Because I'm pretty sure he said that these things are hairless.
legs causing them to tumble and roll as they fled. There now appeared to be several hundred SCP-3288 throughout the ballroom. Operatives 01 activated a silent distress call, requesting heavy support. All 3288 proceeded to kneel and lower their heads. An exceptionally corpulent instance of SCP-3288 classified as SCP-3288 Alpha, entered the room, carried by other SCP-3288 via an enlarged and reinforced sedan chair. 3288 Alpha was dressed in a patchwork of noble finery, stitched together from various fabrics to create a single outfit capable of fitting its frame. It wore a crown that had come to more closely resemble a torture device, too small for its head but held in place by an overgrowth of flesh. In lieu of a masquerade mask, it hid its face beneath a red shroud. A large iron cauldron containing deformed living victims was delivered to SCP-3288 Alpha's table. A dwarf 3288 climbed atop 3288 Alpha's shoulder and lifted up its red veil, covering only the eyes. 3288 Alpha sniffed the air, then proceeded to lift the cauldron and pour the victims down its anonymously large mouth and gullet. The other 3288 raised their masks and began to feast. An exceptionally tall specimen approached the harpsichord and snatched Operative 18 from behind it. The entity unhinged its jaw and quickly forced the operative down its throat first. His screams unheard among the sounds of feasting and discordant music. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the event, causing mass casualties among the 3288. It is hypothesized that Operative 18 survived his ordeal and was able to activate an explosive device, sacrificing himself in order to terminate 3288. Panic spread among the remaining 3288. MTF Sigma-6 took this opportunity to release 3-methylfentanyl to make 3288 unconscious. With the arrival of reinforcements, the survivors were secured and contained at Humanoid Containment Site 282. The sheer size of SCP-3288 Alpha necessitated the use of a specialized crane and the creation of a shaft directly connecting SCP-32881 to the surface. Following the removal of SCP-3288 Alpha, SCP-32881 was filled with cement and reburied.
That's all for today's video, everybody. So, yeah. I'm planning on doing a new type of video, which I'll leave as a surprise once I figure out how the heck to do it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to hit that like button down below, and smash that subscribe button. Hit that little bell icon down below to become a part of the Fading Squad. That's all for today's video, everybody. This is Cinder, signing out. Goodbye.